Previously on Yon Crimson Gray. Look, you are the father! That's fucking retarded. How do I share this? Yo, people, what is up? Okay, so, yeah, so last time I stopped at that one part that was, like, inappropriate, but luckily for me, I actually checked it out, see how, bad it was, but it turns out it was actually censored, so, yeah, victory for me. That means I can actually finish the visual novel without any, or actually go through the visual novel without any explicit content showing suddenly. So yeah. Yeah, let's start off where we left off last time. Let's see, load. Okay, so last time when we were playing, the guy, we pretty much gotten like all lovey-dovey with the main character because you guys told me to I don't know, soothe her with words and stuff like that. So yeah, that's always fun. I wanted to take the other route, but I guess you guys wanted the good ending, I suppose. So I don't know, but yeah, we have a lot of people on today, so thanks for coming, guys. But anyway. Yeah, how about we start? Surrounded on these sides. Okay. Let's see. Surrounded on three sides, the sounds of the fair seemed softer. Okay, so okay, I remember now. So, okay, they just came back, or she actually let them go, and they just decided to go out to the fair or whatever. I don't know, I guess he accepted his fate to be with her, so, yeah. We're actually gonna go back once we finish the visual novel. It shouldn't take too long, actually, but yeah. Let's see. Surrounded on three sides, the sounds of the fair seemed softer. He became very aware of how alone they were as Lizzie slid off her jacket. Okay, so we're gonna get a little etchy here. I'm not gonna say any of the etchy words that they're gonna be saying here. It's only like one sentence that's really etchy, really. You want to do something not childish at all? Yes, I think I do. I know I can be a difficult girlfriend sometimes, but I want you to show you that I can be nice too. That's where it's supposed to be the etchy scene right there. If you get the uncensored version, there's actually like a really really etchy cutscene or something like that. I don't know. He leaned back against the wall, needing a moment to catch his breath. Lizzie seemed to have no trouble fixing her shirt and then rising to give him a hug. Wow, that felt amazing. Good. I liked it too. Maybe we can do it more of this sometime. The cold air forced him to step away from her soon to get his beep back into his pants before it froze. Still, he felt warm, and not just in a sexual way. Soon they headed back out of the alley. John felt like everyone must have noticed, but no one even looked at them. Actually, things outside seemed different. He frowned and glazed at Lizzie, who paused for a moment, then nodded. Is something wrong? The sounds in the distance aren't normal. There's too much tension. As soon as she said it, he realized that she was right. It didn't sound like people were talking and having fun. They were upset about something. Without needing to discuss it, they headed toward the source of the commotion. Soon they arrived at a densely packed group of people clustered around a line of police tape. Uh-oh, someone's been murdered. Lizzie shook her head, muttering something to herself. Not sure how to help her, John found a familiar face in the crowd and tapped her shoulder. Hey, what's going on? Oh God, it's horrible! Someone from our school was killed! What? Who? His face was taken off entirely! They're still trying to identify him. Oh shit. Do they know who did it? They say it. I can't believe this, but they said it was some girl from our school. She stabbed 2 of the police officers like with a knife. They had to be rushed to the hospital. Whoa. What about her? They shot her. Seriously. Or at least that's what I heard. I just got here in time to see the body before they covered it up, but I didn't see the violent part. I see. He wanted to back away in any case, but Lizzie was tugging on his arm. John nodded a quick goodbye and let her drag him away from the crowd. John? Lizzie, do you know something about this? You know it wasn't me, right? You trust me, don't you? I'm not worried about that. You were with me the entire time, but do you know something? There was another girl, not like me, but similar. In our school? Really? Her mother knew Abby. We got kicked out of the Koi Tech program together. For the same reason? Being pregnant? Oh, you have to be kidding me. I never liked her. We never really spoke. But I think she could have been capable of this. Then, what do we do? I think we should go. Stay far away from this. I'm not arguing with you there. She went with him to his door and he kissed her goodnight. But they both knew that things hadn't been entirely settled yet. Not yet. He tried to watch the news, but it was all meaningless speculation about what could have caused the girl to murder her boyfriend so brutally. He had to turn it off only after a few minutes. Though there were still more questions, when we went to bed he found they slipped away from him. Instead, he thought about Lizzie's happy face during their date, and he fell asleep smiling. The next morning, John woke feeling the best he'd felt in a long time. He had to remind himself that most people would be in mourning over the 2 murders the night before. The school had the flag at half-mast, and a class was cancelled so they could have a special assembly about the incident. It meant basically nothing to him, and to most of the other students as well. It seemed to have shaken everyone else to the core, but John still felt good. Maybe that meant something was wrong with him. but he didn't really care. He felt like he and Lizzie were even closer than before, but when she arrived, there was a strange look on her face.
John, something is wrong. Someone wants to take you away from me.
Lizzie, are you feeling well?
Please, we need to run away together or we won't have another chance.
It seemed like she had become more unstable, and what she was just saying must have been her paranoia, yet she seemed strangely intense about the whole thing. Just run away? How would that even work?
I've made plans. We could do it, I'm sure.
As serious as she sounded, perhaps this was necessary for her to stay stable, but doing something like that wild, out of nowhere, after everything that had happened to them, could he? Would that just make her even worse? Okay, we got options here, guys. We can run away together and be happily ever after, whatever, or stay to see what happens. I don't know. Which one should I choose, guys? I'm counting on you guys. Don't let me down. Run away, stay. Two people says, everyone keeps saying stay. Okay, we're staying then, I guess. I'm sorry, Lizzie, but no. Things are safe now. No one is going to steal me away from you.
Okay.
The encounter with Lizzie damped his mood substantially, but he told himself that he was still correct. They had gotten through a difficult time in their lives and things were better now. After school, he got a call to go to Miss Smith's office. He considered just going not at all. He wanted to spend the evening with Lizzie, but the note seemed urgent. When he arrived, he found Miss Smith with a rather grim expression on her face.
John, I hope you're doing all right after the incident. I understand that the boy who died was a friend of yours.
That felt like an eternity ago, but he realized that it was more or less true. He shook his head slowly. An old friend. But yeah, it's hard to believe.
Well, I thought we should have a conversation.
It's okay, Miss Smith. I feel like I'm doing okay. There are other students who probably need more help than I do.
I'm afraid I must assist. Lie down.
He almost defied her then, but in the end decided to do as she asked. Therapy sessions always made him feel better. It couldn't hurt. No reason to draw attention to himself or Lizzie after all. Alright, what do you want me to talk about? My feelings about the incident?
No, there's no time for that today.
Huh?
I need you to relax, immediately.
Oh, what's up with her eyes? John began to settle back onto the couch, letting her words become a meaningless hum. And for the first time, he realized how wrong that was. Wait, what? He lay there, apparently relaxed, as he tried to think back to their past therapy sessions. The more he thought about them, the more he realized an ominous pattern. He could barely remember any details. They would chat for a while, then the rest of their session was just a white haze.
Radzi, I need you to remain calm and come with me.
She spoke flatly, as if she expected to be obeyed without question. What was this? Some sort of hypnosis? Well, realizing she might just get upset, John slowly got to his feet. He wasn't sure how he was supposed to act, but he settled for straightforward obedience.
Delayed response.
Have you been taking your Paxitine lately? He gave a half shrug and just stared back at her. Miss Smith frowned, then shook her head and gestured for him to follow.
I suppose it doesn't matter. All of this is normal. You want to follow me and await instructions. John had no choice but to do so as she left the building, but inside he was panicking. What was he supposed to do now? If he'd seen Lizzie, he could have begged her to follow with his eyes, but he didn't even see even a hint of her, not even watching him from around the corner. They walked outside to the parking lot, where Miss Smith opened the passenger seat door of her car and gestured for him to get in. He stepped inside and tried to keep the tension off his face, instead just staring forward. They didn't drive very far, just to a warehouse a few blocks from the school. Oh, you know, it's never good when it's a warehouse is involved. It looked half abandoned. Even worse, it's abandoned, so yeah, you know where this is going. But when their car approached, the gates and then one of the garage doors opened for her. Inside, there was multiple armed men in gray body armor. He didn't see any insignias on them, or any indication of who they worked for. Why don't you take a seat, John? He got out of the car to obey, only then spotting the blank white table and two chairs placed in the center of a warehouse floor. Sitting down, he tried to stare blankly at the table, even as he analyzed what he held. There were two metal briefcases, and just to make things strange, a box of surgical gloves. Remain calm, but focus on me, John. You're aware of your surroundings, but willing to accept what I say. Uh-huh. Not the most elegant of lies, but it seemed to work. Miss Smith barely even glanced at him, instead pulling on a pair of surgical gloves. We brought you here for your own protection, John. I'm afraid that your girlfriend is not who you believe she is. Lizzie? What's the problem? Is she okay? I'm afraid not. Not even close. Years ago, Koitek was an innovative company on the very forefront of biochemical research, but I'm afraid some of the company's founders were less than ethical. What does any of this have to do with us? Shut up, I'm getting there. Testing standards were rather lax, and particularly, there was a certain test of a mood drug that should probably never have been certified. Dozens of lawsuits were settled for families that suffered in the tests. That is right and good. Koitek acknowledges the mistakes of the past. Unfortunately, some of those mistakes were more enduring. 4 pregnant women participated in tests without disclosing their pregnancies. They were, of course, removed as soon as their condition was realized, but it was too late for the embryos. One became completely non-viable and was stillborn. There's conflicting evidence around the second, but it appears the boy may have committed suicide at a young age. But we are concerned with the last 2. One of them was the murderer who the police put down last night, and the last was Lizzie Doss. Huh? You're saying Lizzie had some kind of condition? Early investigation suggested both girls turned out normal, so the matter was closed, but recent events make it seem very likely that the both of them were deeply disturbed. I'll be blunt. The girl's not remotely stable. She's a danger to herself and others. Did they really think that would work? That he would just nod and accept the story with guards all around them and armed like paramilitary forces? Then again, perhaps she was counting on her therapy to have a controlling effect. Either way, all he could do was keep up his act. There is no doubt truth in what she was saying, and he needed to learn more. Then, what do you want me to do? Why can't all your guards take care of it? John, we don't want to hurt the girl. Not at all. We want to help her. We would prefer she came in quietly. The implicit threat hung in the air. John swallowed and nodded. Then, what am I supposed to do? The girl trusts you. If you can administer a sedative to her, then we hope we can medicate her without any unnecessary struggling. Miss Smith opened the first metal case, showing him a number of syringes filled with disturbingly bright liquid. They looked like chemicals that would melt metal, not ones that should go in anyone's body. If you were receptive to our plan, we will provide you with a variety of options. We have extra strength sedatives here, for example. However, based on the incident yesterday, I personally believe we may need a more extreme option. I would advise you to use this one. Her fingers brushed the last syringe in the briefcase, one filled with a bright red liquid. This is a modified version of the chemical that Lizzie was exposed to, into utero. Wouldn't that be really dangerous? Her body could barely handle the level of exposure she already received. An additional dose should lock her down entirely. And you expect me to convince her to be injected with something like that? It does not need to be injected intravenously. Autopsy of the other girl indicates the chemical had been substantial effect on muscle tissue, so an injection into any muscle would be effective. Autopsy. This was more of a conspiracy than he had imagined. But there was no time for from that now. John simply nodded as if this was vaguely responsible. Well, I want her to get the help she needs. Are you sure this won't hurt her? Let me be honest with you, John. There will likely be some pain for her as her body rejects the chemical, but it may be the only way to ensure that she harms no one and cooperates with treatment. I see. He sat forward and held his head in his hands as if he needed to think, which he desperately did need to do. Would they really just give him the syringe and let him go? He doubted it. At the very least, they'd be keeping him under heavy surveillance. Talking directly to Lizzie would be impossible. In fact, he had to wonder if everything Miss Smith was saying wasn't just a backup plan. It might be no accident that Lizzie was missing. Maybe they were looking for her. But ultimately, he didn't have enough information, and he didn't see any way of getting to the point he needed to reach with so many security forces present.
Smith, HQ hasn't responded.
Damn it. We'll just proceed with the plan then.
No, it's not that. We seem to have lost our connection.
Then, this case is completely under my authority. John, we're counting on you to end this without anyone else getting hurt. I hope I can do that. You can. I'm sure of it. Then, should I... At that point, a radio crackled. One of the soldiers raised a walkie-talkie and tapped the bottom.
What was that? Perimeter.
Attack! Repeat! Under attack! Shit! Directly. Alright, switch to plan C. Kept moving.
The soldiers rushed to obey and John rose with them. Surely it had to be Lizzie attacking them. But what did that mean? Jeez, I didn't know she could take on an army. God damn, dude.
He only got one step before two soldiers grabbed his arms and forced him back down into the chair. He struggled, but they were adults and far stronger than he was. I'm sorry, John, but it looks like you'll have to serve as bait. As she spoke, she opened the second metal case. The one held syringes filled with clear liquid, one of which she lifted and examined. What? Miss Smith, what are you doing? This is going to hurt, I'm afraid. But if she snapped, this is all you're good for now. He tried to struggle even harder, but those soldiers had gotten him strapped into the chair, bound in place. He was helpless to do anything but twitch as Miss Smith approached with a needle. Before he could do anything to stop her, she injected it straight into the vein of his arm, and the pain was instant. His world went white and his ears rang so loudly he could barely see or hear anyone. Miss Smith was just desperately giving orders and the soldiers were moving about, but he couldn't understand any of it. He had never felt anything so painful before. His thrashing practically tore one of his straps binding him. Then he slumped down with agony still washing through him. Although the pain he dimly saw Lizzie arrived and slaughter the remaining soldiers, she seemed heavily injured, but it didn't stop her erratic, deadly movements. Lizzie had Miss Smith pinned down. She was saying something, but he couldn't hear over the rushing in his ears. It felt like his heart was going to burst with every beat. Distantly, he realized that Lizzie was threatening Miss Smith, then torturing her. Whatever was said, it didn't matter. He fell away into the blazing white pain. He faded back into reality with the cool hands on the sides of his face, piercing through the agony all around him. Somehow he managed to open his eyes despite the pain. Lizzie's lips moved, but he couldn't hear anything. He realized that she was crying and didn't understand why. All he wanted was her for the pain to stop. She leaned forward to kiss him, and the kiss was sharp and cold. He kissed back for a long time before he realized that her axe had entered his chest. Whoa, he just killed her. I mean, she just killed him. It felt cool. It felt cool, almost pleasant. The burning hot white all around him began to fade into darkness. The last thing he saw before it fell away was Lizzie. He tried to say goodbye, but it was too late. Oh, that's me? Game over. Wow, okay. Unsurprising outcome. Hope glimmers stronger on another path. Restart the game for a better result! Looks like it's game over. We died. That's what happens when you betray her. Aw, snap, guys. Well, that was that. So, I mean, I guess we could start again. You've unlocked at least one bonus from previous games. These will make positive outcomes more likely and negative outcomes less so. Do you want to play with those bonuses? Continue with bonuses. Okay, this is basically the beginning, really. We're just gonna skip. Let's see. We're just gonna skip through this until we get to like a reasonable. What happens when you leave with Lizzie? Okay. Yeah, I guess we can try to do that. Go talk to her, smile at her, ignore her. I think this was the last time. Wait, go back. Yeah, this was the route we took. We're just gonna skip all this. Let's see what happens. Go back where, yeah, maybe something like that. No, we're just friends. Oh shit, actually we can go back to this part right here if you guys want. Last time we actually put beg.
Let's see what happens if you try to run. I think this is probably another bad ending, probably, if we do run. I'm gonna try run. He ducked low and sprinted for the door, and heedless of crashing against the wall.
Don't run away.
As he reached for the front foyer, John dared to look behind and saw that Lizzie was right on his heels, still smiling. He gave a strangled cry and tried to put everything he had into running, but it didn't matter. Lizzie kept pace with him, and then slamming into the door brought up him sword. He groaned at the impact, and then he felt her axe go straight into his back. John cried out in pain while Lizzie began crying.
Why, John? You were the only thing I had. The only thing.
She kept speaking through her tears, but each word was fainter and fainter. Soon all he could focus was the metal of the axe so deep inside him. And then the sensation faded. There was nothing left. Game over. Yeah, I kind of figured. That was a pretty good game. I could probably stop it here, but I don't know. Stand firm. Maybe, dude. Let's try this again. I think it was like... Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was through here. Oh, snap. Okay, it was research the library, then after that you go this route, right? I think I put the Yandere. No, it was Nahalzine or whatever. Last time we put Beg. Actually, I kind of want to see what happens if we try to go with her. Charm her. I think it was Charmer last time. Yep, it was Charmer. Make something for Lizzie. Lie about old medication. Request. Refuse to tell her. In romance, pierce morality. I think it was look for tools last time, yeah. Look for weapons, look for tools, don't try anything. I'm surprised to even still remember any of this. There we go. Okay, we're at this part. We're gonna try to stay. Last time we tried, actually no, last time we actually tried to stay. This time we're gonna run away together and see what happens. You remember the one when we stayed, we actually died because we went to the whatever Miss Smith therapy session, and then we got captured into a facility. That's what happens when you stay. But we're gonna try running away together with her. Where would we go? Won't that just attract attention?
No, I'm prepared. We can say the murder made us want to transfer, then go away and live safe from all this.
If you say so, then I trust you.
Then we need to get away from here. Far, far away. That very day, Lizzie arranged everything, pulling him out of school and apparently faking the permission slips. She seemed in earnest, madly jealous, as if a woman would sweep in at any moment and take him away. John went along with her in a daze, shocked by how fast it happened. Lizzie told him to say the murder had shaken him up too much, wouldn't let him see anyone, even Miss Smith. Other students were also shell-shocked, so it didn't raise too much attention. But when they left town, in a car with supplies Lizzie had prepared, John almost felt like someone was following them. Was Lizzie's paranoia just rubbing off on him? He told himself it had to be that, because eventually the feeling vanished. They moved away, finished school, found new lives. 4 years afterward, John wondered about that moment. Had he made the right choice to support Lizzie, or had he just encouraged unnecessary paranoia? Maybe it didn't matter at all, yet somehow he couldn't make himself believe that. Perhaps in another life, things could have gone differently. Occasionally, he wondered why Lizzie still seemed so nervous about the entire thing. When he asked, she just told him that it didn't matter anymore. They were safe. Oh look, it's me. I actually know how my face looked like. Nice. As the years passed, she began to calm down. She still had days where she needed him to hold her tight. Just like he had days where he needed her support. Despite everything, they were a normal couple. After they were married, Lizzie softened again. His co-workers told him he was lucky to have such a beautiful, devoted wife, and he was. He just had to pretend that he was the one with the enormous collection of knives. And this is the happy ending, guys. Isn't that adorable? Ooh, I got an achievement. It's called happiness. Cool. So, they pretty much got married afterwards. Okay, I'm just gonna stop here, because, you know, it's pretty much it for the game. I'm pretty sure there's other routes, probably. You could probably get with the teacher. Or not the teacher, but Miss Smith, probably. Because she seemed like a crazy person, too, so... I don't know. But yeah, if you guys like this game, I highly recommend you pick it up on Steam. If you have Steam, it's on PC. And this game, you don't have to have a good graphics card to play this game. I'm pretty sure you don't have to. So if you have a computer, I would get Steam and just buy this game and download it, because it's pretty good. But yeah, I think it was like $5 or something. Edison, about the fan mail. I'm gonna do fan mails. If you saw the video, I'm gonna do fan mails every month at the end of every month. That way I can collect everyone's stuff and open it in one video. But yeah, Rags, yeah, shout out to you, man. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys coming and watching me play. I'm probably gonna play Overwatch after this and stream that. So I'm probably gonna stream something else after I, close everything. But yeah, stay tuned for my next stream, and I believe tomorrow is movie night. So if you guys want to stay and do movie night, then by all means. Also on Friday is, I don't know. I think it's covers. Yeah, Friday's covers. Saturday is gonna be some random video. I haven't decided yet. And Sunday I'm gonna be streaming on Twitch. So if you guys want to see me on Twitch, I will be posting